MJH Sports and Entertainment.
Hey guys, how's it going? How's it going, guys, out there? Again, always, as always, hope all is well with everybody. Hope you're managing to keep fit and keep mentally strong during this super challenging time. Super challenging time. So yeah, just wanted to make it a short one. Um, Really, this time just to ask the question of you guys to see, who which fight are you looking forward to the most that is on the horizon. Um, who are you looking forward to? Any weight class or any weight class, anything like that. Um, just what fights are you looking? Which fights are you looking forward to the most, and which have the biggest hype? Who's the biggest star in boxing? Because I mean, over here in Britain, a lot of people say Anthony Joshua is the biggest star in boxing. I'm not sure. I'm not so sure that that is the truth. To be honest with you, I'm not so sure he is he's one of the biggest, maybe, but the biggest, is he as big? Is he as big as Canelo? Not so sure, because obviously Canelo has the American market and the Mexican and that market, and probably the Spanish speaking countries may have that market too, possibly. So I'd say Canelo would be number one for sure. I don't know if you guys agree, but Joshua certainly is a star. He's definitely a star here for sure. But what about I mean, other fights. There's lots of fights that I've been looking at and been covering on here as well. Lots of fights. Errol Spence. What's going to happen with Errol Spence, and of course the middleweights. And oh yeah, and how about the Chris Eubanks Jr. Talking about that he wants to fight Charlo. Jamel, or it's Jamal. I always get those two mixed up, obviously with them being identical twins. I always get the names of the Charlo twins mixed up, but yeah, Chris Eubanks been apparently running his mouth and saying that he wants to fight Charlo and then he can beat Charlo. Now, my opinion on that one is, I think I've talked about Chris Eubank Jr. Before briefly on this channel, only briefly, but yeah, Chris Eubank Jr. I think is good in terms of fitness. He's a really fit guy. I know boxing isn't all about just fitness, of course it's not. It's about many different things. Mental toughness is just as important as your physical toughness. No doubt about that. Yeah, so Chris Eubank is really fit. Really has his cardio level is fantastic. Fantastic cardio. Fast puncher, of course. He's very quick hands and all that kind of stuff. But I think Charlo beats him for sure. You never know until these guys get in the ring. It's boxing, of course, and anything can happen. We all know that. But I have to go with Charlo with the on the Eubank fight. I just don't see Eubank getting past Charlo. I think he's too big, too strong, and all the rest of it for him, in my opinion. But listen, I'd watch that fight for sure. I would definitely be interested in the fight, but I just don't think Chris Eubank would come out victorious. But we need to see it. But yeah, Clarissa Shields. We can talk about the female boxing and other female fights on the horizon as well. Clarissa Shields, and I'm making this video really because it's just that I'm watching a ton of classic fights. Which is really enjoyable. I enjoy watching them, of course, and some legendary fights. Some Hall of Fame fighters and some people who aren't Hall of Fame. I'm not just into boxing for the Hall of Famers and the stars of the sport. It's not what I'm about. But I just can't wait for a fresh, these fights, these big fights that are coming up, and we'll get back to the heavyweight division. Of course, has many fights coming up, and now I'm here, and I made a video yesterday about boxers trying or considering returning to the ring, and I'm saying it's not a good idea, and they should keep out of the sport for different reasons and things like that. But I'm hearing that Tony Bellew wants to come out of retirement now and fight Andy Ruiz Jr. So I'd watch that. But I just think, a lot of boxers, when they come back, I think sometimes they definitely, they're in it for the money, and it's not always for the right reasons. But I don't know what would happen in that fight. I would watch. I'll watch it. I'd watch Tony Bellew, Andy Ruiz, I suppose. But it's not something that it's not as big as the heavyweight, the undisputed fight, of course, and the Wilder, the Fury Wilder 3 fight, which is definitely the biggest fights in heavyweight of our era, really, of this era. They are the biggest fights. There's talks about the undisputed fight between Joshua and Fury of being maybe the biggest fight ever, in terms of financially, I believe. But I'm not so sure about that. It could be, but would it really top the Mayweather Pacquiao? The gate there, and the gate that they bought in, and the pay-per-view buys, of course. Will it top that? Not so sure. But yeah, I recommend to you guys, honestly, if you're a boxing purist like me, and you adore boxing and things like that, go and watch some of the old fights, watch some of the older guys, and you learn a lot. You really do learn a lot about the sport, about many things. It's really worth doing. I do the same thing with the NBA. I've just recently watched their about an hour ago or so. I watched the classic Bulls '98 Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals, and really good, just enjoyable. And you just during this time, I think the best thing that we can do, I'm only speaking for myself here, but the best thing that I can do is just keep busy, whether it's watching sports or maybe exercising, if you're able to exercise at home, and even if you've got like some weights or something like that, or just, but I walk. I know you're only allowed out for like an hour over here for exercise, so I walk a lot, and keep busy as busy as possible. I'm a type person that I don't like just sitting doing nothing. I can't work at the moment. I'm out of work at the moment because of all this, what's going on right now. So I'm dedicating time to doing these videos, and I do enjoy it a lot. But back to the original question. So what are you looking forward to? I'd like to get some people to comment if I can, and just for a discussion, really, and just what is the fight that you are looking forward to the most? What is it? Which one is it? For what reason? What about this? I'm not even sure. Triple G got a fight on the horizon. I'm not so sure. To be honest, I think he's been pretty quiet as of late. Triple G. I know he's kind of getting up there in age as well, but he was what a fighter he was, right? What a fighter. I mean, he still is, but Chris Eubank was also mouthing off about that, trying to say that Triple G avoided him and all this. I think it was the other way around, if I'm honest. I think Triple G kind of was fighting anybody, and the fight with Canelo, of course, the two fights with Canelo, I really enjoyed. They were really, really high paced, and a lot of skills shown in there. But but I have mentioned it, but like the heavyweight division is really on fire. Heavyweight division is on fire, and all the belts reside in the kingdom, which is I do believe that is a first. That's why the unification would be such a big fight between Fury and Joshua. Would be such a huge fight, especially staged in. You see, the thing is, over here in Britain, if in terms of money, making the most money, you kind of need to put the fights, I guess, in soccer stadiums, because the difference over here in the United Kingdom compared to the United States is that you can charge, whether it's in Los Angeles or Las Vegas, you can charge astronomical ticket prices, hundreds of thousands of dollars to sit front row. In England, you can't charge that kind of money. The money just is not here, Over here, Britain is just a small island, We're basically a state, if you want to think of it that way. Britain is like a state, a small state. We're a very small country. So, in terms of getting the gate and all that kind of stuff, you cannot charge the prices that you would charge in Vegas, Los Angeles, or even New York and Brooklyn and things like that. Those astronomical prices. The money just ain't here in Britain. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's people who live in Britain who, there's some rich people here. Of course there is, but it's different. It's very different from Britain or America. The money is in the United States in all sports, all of sports. The money is not here. I know that, for damn sure. But get it on. Get it on. What about these empty arenas and it's crazy times. I don't want no empty arenas. I don't want to watch fights at empty arenas. I've talked about this before, so I'm not gonna kind of go into that. But I just want normality, and I didn't realize how much I would miss boxing until it's gone. You don't know what you've got until it's gone, is the famous saying, which is also very true. Which is very, very true. I have to watch the classic games, like I've said. I have to watch I'm a diehard Lakers fan, so I have to watch, old Lakers games, and I watch a whole bunch of sport, and now I cover it. Of course, I'm part of new media. I've actually reached out to some of the people in the LDBC, but they don't want to know. To be honest with you, they don't want to know. You know, I'm a small channel, of course, but they really. I've reached out to a few guys in the LDBC for some tips and you know, some advice and things of that nature. But they don't want to know for whatever reason. I'm not sure why, but they do not want to know me. I've done nothing wrong to them or anything like that. I'm a YouTube, you know, I'm a YouTuber. I'm part of new media. I just want some advice and some, you know, some tips and just to chat with I haven't heard back from from them. So look, listen, that's fair enough, you know. But I really did. I thought that, you know, I would have heard something back and, you know, at least had a chat. But you know, they don't want to know. They don't want to know. I can't help that. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. The subscribers that I have, the very few subscribers, I know they've subscribed to me because they like the channel or whatever. You know, I haven't bought subs because I know you can do that. I'm aware that you can do that, and I know a lot of these guys have done that. That's how they've grew their channel. They've bought subscribers. I'm not stupid, man. I know what time it is. But yeah, anyway. Besides that, listen, keep doing your thing. I love watching you guys. I'm not going to bash you guys or anything like that, you know. But it would be nice to hear back from some of you at least, you know. It would be nice. But listen, I've got no hatred towards anybody, so we move on. Yeah, what we looking forward to? What's the fight? What is the biggest fight in any weight class you want? What are you looking forward to? Let me know. Okay, guys.